Howdy everyone, this is LockNutz, and you're watching a map tour of Pioneer's map on FS22. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, how are you guys doing today? Oh my goodness, I tell you what, today we get to go on a map tour of Pioneer's map by Vergamini Modding and Lostgamer. Now this little bad mamma jamma is 95.27 megabytes to download and is very cross-platform friendly. Now, before we go ahead and get too far into things, let's go ahead and take care of a little housekeeping. For starters, we have started this gameplay off in New Farmers mode. That way you know exactly what you'd end up with if you did start off New Farmers mode. Also, one of the things we're going to go ahead and look at here real quick is let's kind of look at see what the map maker has to say about this one. In the 1980s, settlers left southern Brazil for central western Brazil in search of new land. Take on the role of one of those settlers in this map based on the region and area. Simulate with your friends the saga of the Mato Grosso pioneers in Farming Simulator. Hot dog. Pretty darn cool. Oh, man. Like I said, we are going to go ahead and we have started this off in New Farmers mode. So at this point, let's go ahead and take a look and see what machinery you would start off with in New Farmers mode. Alright guys, so starting off in New Farmers mode, just to kind of clarify some stuff here, we will start off with the standard dollar amounts. New Farmers mode, $100,000, Farm Manager 1.5 million, and start from scratch, $500,000. Now, on all of those modes, you do start off with every last one of these bits and pieces of equipment, no matter what you start off with, except for this black truck that I have right here. I just bought that so I could drive around and kind of give you a little description of what's going on, little lay of the land. Let's go ahead and start off here. Medium tractors, you start off with a Vultra, what a workhorse. Harvesters, you start off with the New Holland harvester, along with one grain header and a header trailer. Not too shabby, nice little combination. Trailers, you start off with one Rudolph trailer. Plows, an Agro. Seeders, a Nordstein seeder. Sprayer, one Hardy sprayer, and a fertilizer spreader. Now, to make note, this does only go ahead and do fertilizer, so kind of keep that in mind as you go about doing things. Now that we've taken a look at all this stuff, let's take a look at the map. All right, here we go. This is the map. This is it. Not too much on here. There are really no fields to be said. Except for this one up here, and this is actually the plot of land that you do start off with right here on New Farmer mode. Like I said, with all the equipment, you get that. New Farmer mode, this is the only thing that you get. All the other modes, you have to buy everything. Now you might be telling yourself, okay, that's no big deal. This chunk of land is 840,000. This one's 1.4 million. This one's 1.1 million, 1.3, 887, 760, 1.8, and 1.6 million. You can also buy this little land, pretty much the river and the road with a little bit of town right here, and that's that for 504,000. So no matter what, if you decide to start off and start from scratch, you can't afford that. You can probably afford this one and this one, but you're pretty much maxing out your loan, and that's it. I mean, that's all you got. Very, very hard to kind of get yourself going on this map, to say the least. Now, there are contracts on here, which is kind of weird. On a different mode, I did use the contract refresh mod, and the only thing that ever popped up was a baling contract. So kind of keep that in mind. There are contracts, but baling, and that's about it. There really are no set fields or anything like that. You have a couple sell points in here, not too much. You do have one lime station, one lime station right in here, debris crusher, sawmill, and that's kind of it. You have a couple sell points, shop, gas station, animal dealer, but pretty much this one's wide open for you to kind of create whatever it is that you want to create. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a little walk around on the map. All right, everyone. So one of the things I'm going to do right off the bat is I'm going to turn the map on in the corner so that you guys can go ahead and keep track of where we're at. Now, so this is the only thing that does start on your chunk of land. This is here for every last little bit. When you go into the building mode, you can actually delete this building, and there are no special buildings in there. I went through everything, took a look at everything. The only thing that was in there were one different colored dirt. That's it for painting, and that was all that was available there for specialty items, specialty things. So kind of keep that in mind. Let's come out here. This is the one field that you have that you could actually start off with, do something with. It's entirely up to you. Other than that, it's wide open. It really is a lot like it really is a lot like the other maps that we've been used to seeing as of recent, where it is a sandbox sort of setup where you can kind of go off and do whatever the heck it is that you want to do, build your future. I guess is a good way to say that. Choose your own destiny. But when you do start off, and so I'm gonna run off the map here just a second. There is no road back to town. You have to do everything. You have to cut down trees, make room. So one thing I want to bring up here is, like I had said, there are contracts. This is what it looks like. There are no fields. There are no fields. So in order to go ahead and do the grass contracts, the baling contracts, you're going to have to just cut out here and drive around on those plots and do things. It's going to be relatively difficult, to be completely honest with you. Now, as we come into town here, or one of the little town areas, this will be where your shop is. So there's your shop, and right back over here is where you actually have your vehicles spawn. So with that being said, I mean, there's no traffic. There's no traffic to get in your way. There's a very narrow way to get out of here, and you essentially have to kind of cut your way out to get to wherever it is that you're going. There really isn't much. Honestly, there really isn't much to this town. There's the one sell point right there, and that's about it. It really is just a pioneering village, a pioneering chunk of land where you can choose your own destiny. Now, we have started to see a lot more of these, like I was mentioning just a second ago, with the glorification and the popularity of the no man's land style concept. It really showed people that that's what people like to see, what people want to have. This definitely is going to be a slight issue for you when you want to come this way for any means. Harvesters, you should be able to fit your harvesters through here, but with the trees on either side, that might cause some issues, to say the least. We're going to kind of jump off the land here, or off the main road for just a second, and drive back over here just to kind of check out what's going on back over here. So as you can see, you do have some rolling landscapes. It's really not much of anything. It's pretty much the same no matter where you go here. You're going to get these sporadic trees, some slight hills here and there. There's the river system that kind of goes through this chunk of land, this map. All right, let's get back over here onto the road so we can cross and not fall off. It does create some sort of issues when you're going to go ahead and try and conquer the land. Ultimately, that's what you're doing on this. You're trying to conquer the land the very best you can. Some areas it's going to be nicer, some areas it's going to be harder. Like I said, because of the price, yeah, there's one little small field section right there. I thought that was kind of weird when I seen that on the map, but there it is. There's your little bit of field. I did think that that was kind of not necessarily odd or hard, well, maybe a little odd and hard, that there was very, very little wiggle room when it came to doing anything. I think that's why the map makers decided that they were going to start you off with equipment no matter what mode you were on, because like I said, the cheapest chunk of land other than the roadway system here is $700,000+. New farmer mode, you start off with 100,000. That's fine, but you go over to start from scratch, that's $500,000, and in that you have $300,000 in debt, or $200,000 in debt. So you have to take out a lot more money just to be able to purchase any land. You're not going to have an opportunity to buy a harvester or anything like that, so it kind of makes a lot of sense why they went and did that. Now, as you're kind of coming into town here, it's not too shabby, not too bad. Again, you do have a couple sell points. This area over here, it seems like it has a good variety of things, a good variety of little bits and pieces on what you want to do. As you can see, there's a little roundabout to kind of avoid the town area if you really wanted to. And over here is your sawmill, and over here is where you can go ahead and grab your lime. There's not much to it. The harbor here, there isn't a sell point on the backside over here. It's just on the other side. So essentially what you got is some sort of river, town, basin, however you want to look at it. And that's what you're kind of setting up shop. Like the description said, you really are just a settler out in the middle of nowhere, coming in, taking a look at things, trying to make a go at it. I mean, that's what reality is here on this map. You got nothing. You got absolutely nothing. So at this point, guys, let's go ahead and fly up into the sky and take a look at this bad mamma jamma from a bird's eye view. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and jump up into the sky and take a look at things as we go. Now, as you can see up here, guys, I don't want to say there's a lot of open spaces because there really isn't. There are a lot of trees, but for the most part, you have relatively easy areas to get to. Take this right here. If you really want to, you could go ahead and make a field right in here. You don't necessarily have to. You could knock all this stuff out. I think the moral of the story on this map is that you can kind of do anything that you really want to do. Build the type of excitement that you want to build. Set yourself off the grid, up out of nowhere. This is kind of one of those places where you can do what you want to do. Try new things. Ultimately, I think this is a pretty darn good map that's set up for that pioneering attitude, that pioneering ideal of just being out there, making a go at things, making it work, even if it might not feel the best in the world. You go ahead and take a look off in the distance up there where the map really isn't rendering, or the trees really aren't rendering too well. And you can see that the map, for the most part, is relatively flat, with some undulations out there. It's not too shabby, which means it's going to give you the best chance that you possibly can to get out there, make some magic as you go. Now, this one right here, if you guys want to, go ahead, comment down below. Let me know what you think that you would want to do on this map. Where would you want to start? How would you want to handle things? Myself, personally, I'm not starting on anything other than farm manager mode. I need the money. Things are expensive here. Oh, man. I don't think I'd be able to do it otherwise. Oh, my gosh. Go ahead and download it. Let me know what you think. If you guys are liking what you're hearing, liking what you're seeing, go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It would really help me out a ton. Go ahead and hit that notification bell. Have it set to all. That way you know when this and other great videos are coming out by myself. Oh my gosh, share this with somebody who has that pioneering attitude. Oh, you betcha. I know you know one or two of them. I know you know one or two of them. Oh man, until we get to a point where we can really just call ourselves ready to rock and roll at the same time. I gotta say, guys, thanks for stopping by.